It's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for August 2023. So on August 1st, we are definitely kicking the month off with a huge bang with our full moon in Aquarius. This will be taking place at 9 degrees, 16 minutes, and it will be at its peak potent energy at 2:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's unpack this. First of all, the full moon is a full illumination, if you will, of information, details, circumstances that we haven't been aware of as of yet. Of course, that full moon provides a releasing point, a purging point, an ending, a closure point of some of the topics and themes that likely stems back and connects to February, maybe even January of this year. Of course, we're going back to that new moon in Aquarius season. So the Aquarian energy is a fixed air sign. It is the highest form of intelligence. It is the observer self. The Aquarian energy wants to kind of free us, liberate us from some of the restrictions, the obstacles, the challenges, the emotions that have been weighing very heavily upon us. Just think back to the full moon in Capricorn that we had a month ago, the power struggles, the control issues, the challenges, the obstacles that we got illuminated to, and where it is that we kind of reached our breaking point. Of course, the new moon in Cancer was where it is that we realized where we had to kind of rearrange, restructure how it is that we've been going about taking care of ourselves. Of course, those power struggles, those control issues under that full moon in Capricorn illuminated for us where it is that boundaries were needed in order for us to protect ourselves. Of course, that new moon in Cancer also triggered a lot of inner child healing work that only got intensified and exasperated under the Leo energy, because of course this Leo energy that we're in is the inner child. Now, luckily for us, there's a lot more healing going on with this Leo energy than there was under the Cancer energy. But the full moon in Aquarius is about to bring a lot of those, I'm going to say, aha moments into realization. The Aquarian energy brings us aha moments, brings us revelations, brings us epiphanies so that we have a change in our perspective, our understanding, our heart space, and our head space. This is essentially going to provide us with a vision, with a path, with a direction in moving forward that will help solve a lot of the problems that we've been struggling to kind of wrap our mind around. This Aquarian energy definitely has a couple of different topics and themes that it will be bringing to light. But in the greater, grander scheme of things, the Aquarian energy is the collective consciousness. That's why we have these aha moments. This is why we're reaching a new level of enlightenment and awakening. And because the Aquarian energy is very electric, think of Uranus, the great awakener himself who rules over this Aquarian energy. We are getting lightning bolts left, right, and center. We are getting jolts to our system, jolts to our circumstances, jolts to our heart space. We are in Leo season. The sun is in Leo energy. The moon in Aquarius energy. They sit across from each other. Let's talk about it. The Leo energy is a fixed fire sign. It is very proud. It is about who it is that we are as our individual, unique ego selves. It's how the soul is expressing itself here in this physical earth plane. It is heart-led. It is passion. It is creativity. It is spark. It is soul. It is spirit. While the Aquarian energy prefers to be more part of the team. We want to be independent while still being a part of the team, but definitely more apt to want to kind of fit in and kind of lead the group, lead the team, if you will, into a new path, while the Leo energy is really pushing for us to kind of dance to the beat of our own drum, so to speak. So, of course, there is this realization that we can't do everything by ourselves and on our own. We do need a support system. We do need like-minded people. We do need a team, a partnership, a group, if you will, to kind of align with as we're really kind of pushing ourselves on this new path, this new direction of our hearts and soul's mission to kind of reach a new level of potential in our healing journey, in our awakening. But the Aquarian energy is kind of showing us where it is that it is important to maintain our individualism while still being part of something greater than just self. So this is kind of like the Aquarian energy is more the cheerleader for the group, for the team, if you will, loves that kind of group spirit. While the Leo energy would prefer to kind of cheer for the team off on the sidelines as we're doing our own thing. And of course, the whole point of a full moon is to balance the energies of the sun and of the moon. So we're tapping into those Leo energies just as much as we are tapping into that Aquarian energy. Regardless, there's going to be a shock to the system. There's going to be a disruption to our plans, to our circumstances, to our thoughts, to our emotions. This is adding to the pivot point that all of us will be experiencing throughout the month of August as we have a change in perspective, a change of heart. This is opening us up. This is making us more open to change, more open to seeing things from a different perspective, a different angle. And of course, all of this is not only going to help kind of resolve and make a little bit more sense of why it is that we've been struggling with confusion over the past God knows how long, but also connect the dots to giving us a little bit more puzzle pieces to play with to illuminate the greater, grander picture that we now have to kind of move towards. So there's a lot of different dynamics that are taking place here. I think that if you haven't downloaded your moon guide as of yet, you should probably do that. You'll be very kind of interested, I would hope, to know that we are still dealing with a dominant Earth situation. Even more than that, it's being backed by fire. So what do we know about this? Well, the elemental energy profile of having a dominant earth with the supporting fire means that we are taking a look at our physical realms, our physical circumstances, the life in which we've created. That fire energy is a new spark, a new fire, a new flame of passion, of excitement, of news. That fire energy gives us the opportunity to burn down, if you will, the old structures, the old foundations, the old systems that are keeping us blocked, held back, restricted from actually moving forward. And again, the illumination of that should not only have been under the full moon in Capricorn just a month ago, but over the last couple of days of having the moon in Capricorn energy as we built towards this full moon in Aquarius. That fire energy, again, is very cleansing, very healing. We do have the ability to kind of cut the cord through, burn through the attachments with the past. And when we do so, yes, we are burning certain things to the ground, but it's so that we have a clean slate, a better foundation to actually build upon. Now, you're going to be noticing, if you do download the moon guide, all of the different aspects taking place under this particular moon event. Let me just say that I'm going to say most intense energy from some of the aspects that are popping off here are, first of all, that we have a yod going on between Pluto, Neptune, Venus. We did have Mercury kind of move in there for a short period of time this week. That's due to Venus's retrograde. That's a whole other storyline. However, it's an underlying storyline that is making the aspects of this full moon really come into illumination. We are squaring off with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings. And let me just say that he tends to magnify and exaggerate some situations and some circumstances. So we might be feeling a little bit more than what we should be feeling. We might have some over-the-top realizations, epiphanies, or emotions to some of the situations and circumstances that are popping off. But even more than that, we have a lot of favorable aspects that are kind of balancing out the tension, the conflict that we will be experiencing under this particular full moon. And again, I just want to remind you that a full moon illuminates the conflict, the tension, the friction, the obstacles, the challenges, in order for us to have an epiphany, an aha moment on how it is that we can kind of override some of these narratives and kind of provide a detour, if you will, a redirect on how it is that we can still get to where it is that we're going, but maybe through a different path, a different plan, a different direction, and actually moving forward. We have a lot of positive interactions, especially with the North Node. The North Node now in Aries energy is really pushing for us to kind of break away from what has been in order to create what could be. We definitely have to step back and really get to know ourselves again, center in who it is that we now are, again, going through this identity shift in order to put our own wants, needs, and desires before everyone else's. So that actually plays into some of the dynamics that kick off between this Leo and Aquarius energy, because again, the Leo energy wants us to be an individual, wants us to bring our unique perspective, our unique experience, skill set, talents to the forum to help the greater, grander whole as we are kind of helping ourselves. The downside of the Aquarian energy that we are being illuminated to is that there's a tendency to kind of dim our light in order to fit in with the group, which of course means that we are not standing in our own truth, our own mission, our own purpose. We're doing what we think is best for the collective. And again, the balance that we are striking here, not only with this full moon in Aquarius, but now with the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra, we are learning the lesson on where it is that we have to step away from the team, from the partnership, from the group, from the collective, in order to get our own vibration right, in order to do what we need to do for ourselves first and foremost. We have to continuously remind ourselves that the best way to be the change in the world that we want to see is to be the change within ourselves, create that change in our own realm. When we do what we need to do for ourselves and we reach that peak potential of happiness, we vibrate at a level that of course reverberates out to the collective and raises the vibration of the whole. So there's really some mixing and mingling between these two opposing energies. And I think that as you work your way through the moon guide and we kind of explore some of these aspects and what they're trying to illuminate to us, that there is going to be a rapid fire domino effect of having some really profound aha moments, shifting our perspective and understanding, opening up our mind and our heart to some possible alternatives or changes. And from that, we are really going to see things from a different perspective, from the observer type of mentality. I think that it's also important that we kind of understand that most of these planets are retrograde, which means that, and again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but most of the answers that we are looking for in how it is that we're supposed to move forward can be found by looking back. They're embedded in our past. Whether it is that we have to look back at our past with a different set of eyes in order to understand the life lessons that were at play, and that is the trigger that provides us with clarity to move forward, or that we actually look back at our past experiences, the tough love life lessons that we've already gone through, and pluck out those silver linings that of course we can put together and formulate to provide a bigger, broader picture on where it is that we need to go based off of where it is that we've already been and where it is that we have no desire to revisit. So a lot of the retrograde energy is a reflection back in order for us to see things from a different set of eyes, a different perspective, a different light, if you will. That in itself is going to trigger the awakening, the aha moment epiphanies and revelations that we need to have under this Aquarian energy in order to piece together the path, the direction that we need to be walking from here.